Hi guys, this is Tracy with Inside Pool Magazine. I'm at it again. I just got back from Buffalo's and I have another kid that's itching to get on this podcast. This kid hails from Mississippi. His name is Coye Burns. I've heard quite a bit about this kid and I just haven't had the opportunity to actually sit down and meet him until now. A lot of these kids that are coming out of the state of Mississippi are playing against grown men. There's not really a place for them to play that's just specifically for children. And that's a lot of the reason why I do this. I think our kids need a little more help than what they're getting, and sometimes it takes a village to raise a pool player, so we're going to give it a shot. Anyway, I'm going to run Coy's video. That way you guys can get a little bit of a look on Mr. Burns before we dive into those questions. Coming up next is Coye Burns, representing the state of Mississippi.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hey.
Welcome to the show. Could you guys introduce yourselves for the fans out there, please?
I'm Coye.
My name's Brad Burns.
And where are you exactly in the state of Mississippi, Coye?
Boonville.
There we go, guys.
It's a little bit, like maybe 20 miles from Tupelo.
20 miles from Tupelo. So you know Cheney White fairly well.
Yeah. He's
I'm assuming you guys have matched up a time or two.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Okay. Mr. Burns has some things that he needs to do. He also works out of the state. So I'm going to start with some questions for Mr. Burns. That way he can step out and get some things done before he has to leave for next week. Brad, have you noticed any issues with Coye when he's out on these grinds? Because sometimes it's some late nights going on for this kid, especially out of the Meridian area. I noticed that I've seen him a couple of times down there at some of these events. Have you noticed any mental fatigue while he's playing in Meridian?
Yes, he has had some mental issues. That is our number one thing we've been working on. I started very young with that. We started out with the fundamentals, but we jumped right into the mental aspect as quick as possible. I think that's a turning point for every kid that's playing the pool nowadays is a mental game. So if, I sit down and talk with him, that is one of the biggest things we need to overcome and get addressed really quickly before we move forward, learning everything else for the aspects of pool.
Right. It's have you noticed any physical fatigue after those long hours? Because sometimes in Meridian you're there until 6 o'clock in the morning if you're in the finals. Have you noticed any physical fatigue? Yes. He's 16 now, but he's been playing for a couple of years. I've been seeing him around for at least 3, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. He's been getting better at it, but I can tell the longer he plays, I'm trying to get him to where he paces himself and not be, trying to hit balls in between matches and try to rest up. But yes, it does. It takes a toll on him at times.
So do you think since from when I first saw him playing, which I believe was a couple of years ago when I met Cheney, have you noticed an improvement in his mental and his physical game?
Yes, he has changed tremendously. Him and Cheney both work together. I think they kind of help one another. They both, we've talked to them and basically trying to just get them to slow down. As a kid, every kid wants to get that speed up mode where they make a couple balls and they want to pick up the pace a little bit. But yeah, they've improved a lot as far as working together with one another.
Awesome. How about his grades while he's in school? For some of these tournaments are during the week, I've noticed, especially out of the Tupelo area. Shade Tree usually has one on Wednesdays. If he's able to play in that, do you notice any issues with his grades following those nights?
For the most part, he's been able to keep his grades up. I have had an incident or two where his grades have slipped, and I've actually kind of held him out for so a tournament or so, because that's our number one priority is keeping the grades up. I've told him I take him out of pools. He wouldn't get to play a little while if he don't keep
Right.
his grades up. That's our number one focus.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. With home life, do you have siblings, Coy?
I have one. She's a younger sister though.
A little sister. How old is she?
About 6. She just turned 6.
She just turned 6. What does she think about you playing pool?
She kind of, looks at it like she likes it and she wants to, do it when she gets older, I think.
Well, that's a big age difference there. Do you my main focus is finding places for the kids to play that's safe for them to learn instead of, in bars. I'm not saying anything bad about any of these people that allow these kids to come into their rooms because they have nowhere else to go. They have no challenges because there is no specific place for them to play. So hats off to Terry Ritchie and Deanne for allowing these kids to come in there and play in these events. Shade Tree Lounge has been wonderful for me. I mean, I love those people to death. South Haven Rec Center, same thing. They've supplied a place for these kids, a safe place for them to play as well as Meridian, Mississippi. And, Joey and Wesley have decided to go non-smoking in their venues, which is a godsend to me. I can actually attend them without feeling like crap for 3 or 4 days. With these venues opening up, Coy, do you feel like we're giving you places to play that you feel that you can learn in, or do you still feel like we need to do more for you?
I feel like that's opening up, more opportunities to learn. But, yeah, it really, it's kind of all this, to me, it's all the same, because I've gotten to the point where I'm used to playing in those types of environments. And I've gotten like a mortality or something built up to where, I'm just used to it.
Right. Dad, do you feel like he's having to grow up a lot faster than most kids, and you having a daughter that's looking up to him, and she may decide she wants to play pool as well? Do you think he's setting a good example for other kids that are looking up to him?
I think he is. For the most part, he keeps his head pretty straight, especially like I said with his grades and everything else. And he talks to kids. He works with kids, other kids. I've seen him kind of work with other kids as far as drills, the things that he does, and stuff like that. And they kind of share information. But yeah, I really think he helps a lot as far as helping them out.
Well, that speaks a lot for the way he's being raised as well. So hats off to you there, Mr. Burns, you and your wife. We appreciate you giving us a young ambassador to represent the state of Mississippi. He's going to do well, I promise you. Okay, well, let's get down to some of these other questions. Coy, what school do you go to?
I go right now, I go to Billiard High School.
Okay, big shout out to the high school cranking out those pool players. We appreciate it. And your home pool room, where do you play out of the most?
I play at home a lot. Probably.
So you have a table at home. That's good.
Yeah. The place that I probably play publicly a lot is probably going to be Shade Tree.
Shade Tree Lounge. Okay. Awesome. Big shout out to Shade Tree. We appreciate you guys letting these kids in there to learn something. Do you have a Fargo rating or an APA rating been given to you yet, Coy?
Yeah, I have a Fargo, but it's not really like established. Like I've never played in a Fargo match. And I have a APA rank. I was a 6'6" like 2 years ago.
Year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
So what is Joey ranking him at down in Meridian right now?
4 or 5.
4 or 5. So you're right there. You're hanging in there with Cheney then. You guys are probably the same.
We've been playing pretty even here lately.
Okay. So you're looking at a 500, roughly 4-something Fargo rating is what I'm assuming. Nick has all that stuff, so he needs to give me that app. It's supposed to be able to translate all that stuff. Let's see. Do you have a favorite professional player?
My favorite professional is Shane Van Bonen.
He's an awesome man. Good ambassador of pool.
He's just so he has a lot of talent, and he's just so calm.
It's phenomenal
And
how
yeah,
relaxed he looks on the table, isn't it? It's like, wow, he could take a nap and still make balls.
yeah.
Especially that monster break he's got on 10 ball. Who has been your biggest motivator and why?
My dad, because he kind of got me into it, and he tells me a lot of stuff that he'll sit there and watch me while I'm playing. He'll tell me a lot of stuff that I'm doing wrong, and also what I'm doing right. But and give me tips on what I need to fix.
Awesome. Dad, do you feel like his improvement will continue, or do you think he's getting out of it all that he can possibly get out of it right now?
He continues to improve all the time. Every time, like I said, I'm currently working out of town, but it seems like every weekend I get a chance to come home, he's improving. I mean, he beats me like it ain't nothing now. But
Right. Well, I mean,
but
that's
yes,
what
he
we
has
want.
continued.
We strive for our children to do better than us. So as long as he's doing something right, I guess that's good. And we appreciate you coming to Huntsville and doing what you do, sir. I know it's taking you away from your family, but the city of Huntsville appreciates it. That's where I'm from. So I know you're taking time out of your family. So thank you for coming over here and doing what you do. You said you've been playing for quite a while, Brad. What is your favorite game that you've been playing that you have taught him to play well?
Oh, we actually started out with 9 ball. And then we progressed to that. We tried a little bit of 8 ball. I played 8 ball, and then but mainly 9 ball and 10 ball is what we like to play.
Coy, do you play any other games like one pocket, banks?
I like one pocket, but I think I like to play banks a lot too. I'll sit there. Sometimes I'll just put balls on the table, or I'll rack of banks and just play it by myself. I think it helps me get better
Right.
vision of the angles on the table.
Are you any good at math, Coy?
Yeah,
It figures.
yeah.
My boys probably would have been phenomenal pool players if I'd let them play. We have a comment. Let's check out the fan base here. Oh, well, thank you so much, Mike. I'm just giving back. I've had I've been very fortunate having a lot of people helping me in my career. So for me to give back to the kids, it's actually helping me. So thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, let's keep going. So, what has been your biggest accomplishment? What has been your biggest tournament that you took down, Coy? Have you taken one down yet?
I've taken a few down. I think probably one of the biggest ones so far is Shade Tree.
Yeah, you won Shade Tree.
Shade Tree tournaments.
Yeah, I believe Cheney says that my only competition here is Coy.
Yeah, he's like a little pool brother or something like that.
Oh, I will need to get back to Shade Tree soon, so I'll make sure I let you guys know when I'm out there. I want to do some video of Cheney, so I would love to get some video of you as well, Coy, so that when there are sponsorships out there looking for new kids, I can just send those in for you. If you don't mind, Dad, I would love to do that for him. Okay, let's see what else. What has been your biggest lesson so far, Coy?
Oh, to not let fear get to you. That's probably my biggest lesson. So, and try not to tire yourself. Get tired as much. Try to kind of pace yourself, which is what he was telling me a while ago. He's been telling me for a little while. I just got to get used to it. And slowing down. Like taking time on a shot. I was watching a match not too long ago. It was a pro match, and one of the commentators saw one of the players. He was feeling uncomfortable on a shot, and he got up and he said, that takes, you're a good player if you do that, and I'll try to, if I'm uncomfortable or something, I'll try to get up and reposition myself, look at it again, and get back down, try and make it.
I think as we get older, our mechanics aren't as well as they used to be, and especially our eyesight. Dad, I'm pretty sure you can pretty much back me up on that. Kids, when they're younger, they shoot so much faster because they see so much easier than we do, especially with shadows and things. Equipment has come so far over the years. I remember shooting under a light that was horrific, and all of the equipment's so much better. But with the kids, the eyesight's so much easier. They see things that we couldn't possibly see. Dad, do you notice him making shots that you didn't think he could make early?
Absolutely. I've seen him pull some shots off, and I was like, wow. For him to pull it off, be his age and young as he is, some of them I couldn't even do,
Right.
but he has changed and gotten a lot better. He's made some pretty incredible shots and matches and different things.
So do you agree with his answer that his the things that he's working on right now is pretty much what you've been seeing?
Yeah, for the most part, everything he works on is either things that I talk to him, and he gets tips from these guys like at Shade Tree, and he talks to all of them older guys and gets tips from them as well, and he tries to take in as much and like a sponge, try to absorb everything he can.
Right. The best information and the best suggestions you will ever get in life will be from old school one pocket players. If you can find you an old guy playing one pocket very well, sit and listen to him. He's got some stories to tell you, and let me tell you something. You would be amazed at what these people know. And there's something about our retired pool players. They have all these stories and nobody to share them with. And they also have a lot of shots you've never seen before. So if you can find one of those old school one pocket players, or golf, these guys used to play all kinds of golf around here.
Yeah.
Sit down and speak with them. They have a lot of knowledge and they would love to share it with you. That I met Grady Matthews that way. And I will never forget that moment, that once I figured out who he was, I learned a whole lot from that man, and that's something you can take with you forever. So find you an old one pocket player. I promise you, he's got a lot of info to tell you. What's the one tournament you would like to attend and why, Coye?
If I ever go pro, I would like to play in the Moscone Cup.
Well, Tracy's working on something for you kids. We'll see what we can do about that Moscone Cup. But that's a fantastic goal. Absolutely. My co-host Nick DeLeon's been traveling and trying to rack up those Moscone Cup points. And even our own Jonathan Hennessy got on up there at Sandcastle and did fairly well. So, every dream is accomplished as long as you keep your vision and stay focused on it. So we'll see you on that Moscone. And let's see. After high school, Coye, do you intend on furthering your education? And if so, what would you like to be when you grow up, sir?
I plan on going to a welding academy or something like that, and
Awesome.
come back and work on in some metal shops or a pipeline or something like that.
My cousin works for a drilling company. I would have never thought he would do something like that, and he's loved it all these years. And he says there's something about the way the ground smells when you're breaking it up. I mean, I'm like, well, as long as you're drilling for oil, if you find any gold in there, cuz, send it my way. My kids need money. He said he was keeping it for himself, it figures. Let's see. Do you currently have a practice regime, Coye, that you do before you play in any of these tournaments, or do you just kind of throw the balls up there?
I'll kind of, there's certain shots I'll try and do, common shots that'll come up in a match most of the time. I'll try, if I'm having kind of trouble doing cut shots, I'll take a ball and try and get it farther down the table and put the cue ball down the other side and try and cut it and work until I get it, make it more until I can't miss. And I'll just work on those types of shots, bank shots, any type of cross bank,
Right.
kick shots, stuff like that.
I think when I first got started, it was my kick shots that were so bad. And Hennessy worked with me for a while, and I got so much better at it. It was like, I don't need your help anymore. He's like, yes, you do.
That's that. Yeah, that's one thing I've been trying to practice on a lot here lately is kick shots. Being able to, if like somebody hooks me or something or plays a good defense, I'll try and kick out of it or at least, yeah, be able to just hit it.
Do you have a jump cue that you use?
I do.
You do. Okay. We'll get to that soon. How many hours do you think you spend a week on practice, Coy?
During like school days, during the week I'll probably spend at least maybe close to about 10 hours
That's pretty good a
practicing
week.
playing nine ball and doing drills. During the summer, I've been playing a lot here lately. I'll probably
Right.
spend double that maybe.
Cool. Awesome. Dad, do you feel the junior players have the support that they need from the media, the venues, the tournament directors? Rawhan has been an amazing addition to the juniors community as well as the VNEA and a lot of these BCA, a lot of these other places. Do you think that we are doing our job, or do you think the kids could use just a little bit more help?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you guys and all these they have done tremendous amount of work, and I could see it growing. Especially it's starting to grow in our area. So I've seen a lot of change in the last couple of years. We didn't have this kind of stuff when I was a kid. I was like, man, I wish we had this when I was a kid. But I am so glad to see it changing and starting to grow. I would love to see it get into the schools as well. Because it is a sport for schools. I kind of test that every day, telling people. I mean, if you could put fishing as a school sport, you can put billiards as a school sport.
Right.
So, I would love to see it grow more into that as well. And I really hats off to you guys for helping make that possible.
We're doing what we can. What started out as a mission statement has turned into a movement. I had no idea that it would get this popular. I grew up and we had one pool table in the whole little county that I lived in, or that little area, and it was at down the street from the high school. And we had it was like a little diner with a little crappy pool table in the front. The felt was horrible. You remember carpet.
Oh, yeah.
And the pool balls were old and the cues were worn, but it was something that we loved, and we always, all of us were like, we wish we had other places to play, because the place closed at like 4, and basically it was just open for a lunch rush, and it was in the middle of nowhere. I think I would have been definitely less annoying to my mom if I had something that I could look forward to like that. I was athletic, but I wasn't really into the whole thing. But I like
Right.
pool. Some of us aren't athletic, but we're extremely intelligent when it comes to angles and certain things. So I'm right there with you, Dad. I think we need to put pool in schools. I
I
mean,
agree.
there's all these new venues that open up. They can donate those tables to the school, and they can get a tax deduction on a table they didn't even want. And these kids could learn something, can further themselves. You can teach kids math on a pool table.
Sure can.
Geometry.
Geometry. There you go.
I
Angles.
mean, come on, it doesn't. It's a learning thing, and it also teaches kids patience.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it also teaches them how to be a good person on the table, because you can get out here at some of these sporting events and these parents go insane. It's like, are you serious? You're teaching your kid to be a jerk. We don't really have a whole lot of that in pool, and I'm hoping that it will catch on and we do something with it. So thank you so much for that. And they need to hear it. What do you think, Coy? Do you think that we're giving you guys what you need?
I think so. I think, we have a lot more, like what he was saying, than what they had in the early, 2000s era, stuff like that. I think we got a lot more, people involved, upper pro players are teaching kids, how, like all these other things, like, how to play. And they got, full couple of pool academies like Mark Wilson and Nick Varner,
Right.
They travel and teach people. And
CJ.
and CJ Wiley, they they still play. And
I
just teach
sent
people.
CJ over there. He said, "What can I do over here?" And I was like, "Dude, don't ask me that." Huge shout out to CJ Wiley for taking the time with these kids while he was in the state of Mississippi. John Schmitz has come through the state of Mississippi as well. So if you ever get an opportunity to sit and talk to John, amazing human being and a great teacher too. So you got a lot of opportunities. The more they come filtering down this way, you'll start seeing them more, because I will make sure that they know you guys are really wanting to have those lessons. I mean, it doesn't get any better if you can take a lesson from CJ Wiley for $100 for 3 days. That's gold.
That's pretty good.
You know what I mean? So, and I'm pretty sure the guys appreciate it too when they're coming through that way. So, and you guys are always fun to teach. Coye, what advice would you give to newcomers? Say your little sister decided she wanted to play, and she didn't want dad teaching her because it's dad and he's a little bit much, you know how dads are when it comes to their daughters now. But she came to you and said, "Can you teach me how?" What would be your advice to your little sister?
Just to work on work on your stroke, make sure it's straight, your form, your stance, make sure all that's good, and then when you get all that down pat, just start working on drills, being able to do slide and bank shots, practice those, and just try and if you ever play like competitively, just keep trying to keep your mental game strong.
Good advice. You taught him well, Brad. You taught him well. He's a good kid.
I'm working on it.
Hey, all of us need a little help sometimes. I need to be reminded not to be so sassy. I was like, well, they're picking on me, and I'm not standing for it. Let's see. If you could speak to someone with unlimited funds, Coye, say Donald Trump said, "Tracy, I'm going to hand you a big bag of money." And I said, "Coye, you show me what you want me to do with this money. What would be your first purchase?"
I probably like just good equipment, like good tables, like diamonds or something like that, or just regulation tables you'd be able to play on in junior venues that they would have tournaments at or something like that. Like I would actually love to see if they had a tournament, like the SBE, but just for junior players. Like if they put it somewhere in the middle of the United
of the
States.
country, right? Yeah. The problem is these events are too far for some kids to travel. They have, my kids have 2 parents that work. Most kids do have 2 parents that work, and it's hard for both parents to be able to travel and stay gone for several days. So I agree. I think we should have an SBE in 4 locations around the United States at different times. Have one in the beginning of the year in Philadelphia, then move it to maybe North Florida, then over into California, maybe in the Midwest, and then another one over in Washington State. I mean, it's not difficult to do. We just have to find the money to do it. So Thank you so much. That should help. Also, Coye, what is your favorite game?
My favorite game right now is probably 10 ball.
Have you tried 14.1 or straight pool at all?
I have. I like playing on it. I like to play that on a 9-foot, but
it's too difficult to play on a 7-foot. I tried. Hennessy thought I was crazy. He said, "Why are you doing that?" I said, "I don't know." It'll drive you absolutely insane.
It will.
Do you also have you played any what's the word I'm looking for? I know you said you play one pocket a little bit. I don't see very many of you kids playing one pocket. I know Cheney's been getting a little more interested in it. Have you had any matches against anybody playing one pocket so far?
Yeah, I've played a few. I've actually, me and a buddy, he used to come to the pool hall in Boonville, and we would play. Most of the time, we would play short rack one pocket because we had a bar box. We didn't have a 9 foot, and we would sit there and play a lot, and play like races to 4, races to 5, and we would do that a lot. And I've had a few other matches on a 9 foot. Other than that, and I like to play it because it teaches you how to like get out of certain situations and how to play defense and stuff like that. And I like playing it a lot. And if I could play it more, I would.
We don't see a lot of the kids playing one pocket. And for me, I think it's important for you guys to be able to learn to play all of the games because each game teaches you something different. And I've noticed that the kids that do play one pocket, their eyes see shots that we don't see normally. So I think it would be really good for your game the more you play it. Next time I'm out at Shade Tree, maybe you and Cheney can show the viewers what you've learned so far. Do they have any 9-foot tables other than us having to go to South Haven? Are there any in the Tupelo area?
They
9-foot tables?
have like a few at Sharpshooters.
That's what I was thinking. That would be the other one, right?
Yeah.
We may have to go over there. That way you guys can play and I can video some of that stuff. Maybe we can do a live video of you guys playing your match. That might help draw a little more attention to the Tupelo area and get you guys some more equipment as well. We'll see what we can do. And what's in your case, Coye?
Right now I play with lately I've been playing with a P3, Predator P3 with a Revo 12-4.
Nice.
I break with a BK Rush, and my jump cue is a Go Customs.
Nice.
I have another playing cue I've been playing with. It's a radial. It's a custom cue from the Philippines, but it was supposed to be Efren Reyes. I think it's Efren Reyes' cue.
Nice.
It was his playing cue, and then he sold it or traded it to Roland Garcia. And my buddy Noah Pipes got that from him. I got it from Noah.
Oh, well, that was awfully nice of Noah. That was awfully nice. Huge shout out to Noah Pipes. If you guys haven't been following me, Noah was a 19-year-old young gun out of the South Tennessee area. He was first noticed at the infamous rec center out of South Haven, Mississippi. Okay. Do you guys have the ability to let us see him shoot any today, Brad?
Oh,
Can we turn the camera around and watch him play a little bit?
yeah, we could probably. I could probably turn the camera around and
Okay.
get his view
Well,
of
you
the
know what? I'll play his video again while you guys try to set up. Okay.
All right, sounds
So I'll
good.
pull you guys out and you guys set up and we'll get that going.
All right.
While Coye and his dad work on trying to get us a good view of him practicing and hitting some balls, I will run his video again for you guys to watch. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Coye Burns, 16-year-old representing the state of Mississippi.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life.
Okay, guys, don't forget, our sponsors this week are Mako Tips, so head on over to Mako Tips. Mako Tips is helping us get a juniors tournament put together, so every jersey that is bought through Mako Tips, a percentage of that money will go to a championship tournament for our junior players. They asked Tracy for a tournament, and this gentleman said, I'm up for the challenge. So go head on over to Mako Tips and ask them about their jerseys and how to contribute to the kids' championship fund for them to have their very own Moscone Cup type event. So stay tuned, guys. Also, huge shout out to Team Puberty. They're the ones that are taking care of our kids this next 2 months, and the kid with the highest views will be the one to win that little package from that amazing company. So huge shout out to them, and thank you so much for helping a diva out and her kids on their road in this insane movement that I've started. What started off as a mission statement, ladies and gentlemen, has turned into a movement. These kids are all about trying to make it to the Moscone Cup. So what are we supposed to do, right? We're supposed to help them out. So with every child given that opportunity, that's one more dream and one step closer to the thing that they love the most, which is pool. So make sure you guys are helping. Also, there will be several raffles that I will also share on my own feed, on my own Facebook. So if they are raffles coming from me, I actually know the parents and know that this money is going to the children. So otherwise, if you are skeptical about buying a raffle ticket from someone that you're not quite sure it's going to the kids, contact me and I'll let you know for sure if that's where that money is going. And I will not tell a soul who it was that asked me, okay? So we're going to go back over and check out what Coye has been learning in his past few years playing this game that we love. Awesome. Coye, how long have you been playing pool? I'm not sure he can hear me, ladies and gentlemen.
About 5 years.
About 5 years, Brad?
Yeah, but it's not really taken off until like the past 3 years, the past couple of years.
Okay. So, Dad, is this his normal routine?
Yeah, he comes in here usually. He will actually, this little camera spot we got set up where we set it now. His normal routine is he comes in here and plays the ghost.
Okay.
He'll sit here and play the ghost like several sets, race to 7. Doing that. That way he can work on his mental game and like focusing on basically like I try to teach him like you're playing the table, not the person. You know,
Right.
don't ever worry about who you're playing. Your opponent is this table.
Right. Good advice. Fantastic advice. Does the whole family play pool, Brad, or is it just the boys?
It's just the boys right now. My wife, she is currently in school, furthering her career. So, but hopefully, like you said, Millie is taking a big interest. So, you know, we get in here from time to time and kind of let her hit a few balls around with a shaft, old shaft and stuff, and kind of let her hit some balls in and stuff like that. Hopefully, one day maybe it'll light a fire and when she gets older and wants to play it.
Well, you know, I'll have to retire one of these days, and she can take my spot. So what is your next event coming up?
We will be going to Meridian in the 6 and under. Like I said,
Okay.
I'm currently stationed at MTM in Huntsville helping those guys out, so I wasn't able to make it this time. But I am taking off work so we can make plans to attend the next one in Meridian.
Well, we'll see what we can do, and let me get in touch with Cheney and a couple of these other kids, and we'll see what we can do. Because I would love to see the boys play a little one pocket.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Does he seem to play 9-ball better than 8?
Yes, I think 8-ball is one of his weaker games that he plays, but he does play it very well. But he just likes 10-ball, 9-ball most. And like I said, me and him have been venturing into one pocket, so we're starting to get where me and him kind of play it about as even now,
right?
As much as the other ones.
How is his 10-ball break? Is he making balls on the break and getting shape?
Yes, he can. He's getting pretty decent. Like I said, his hero Shane Van Boyne, he's been trying to pattern his and Sky Woodward's break so much here lately, watching their videos and trying to just pattern everything they do.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let you guys know something. It's extremely nerve-wracking to be on a video that you know is live to make balls. So you guys just, you know, try to be kind to these kids. I threw this at poor Coye. Repented Heart Daily. My main channel is you need to subscribe to Inside Pool Magazine, and then it will let you know when we're live with our next podcast, and I will have that typed out for you.
Where'd you put the pinball?
Well, he doesn't waste any time, does he, Brad?
No, he doesn't. I'm still, like I said, that's his biggest weakness. We're working on the slowing down a little bit. And it's like that with every kid that plays.
Oh, absolutely. All of them do it. I think the reason why we slow down is because when we bend over, things pop.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, I can't get back up.
Remember, guys and gals, if you're looking for a car rental service, Inside Pool Magazine has partnered up with Enterprise Car Rentals to get those deep discounts to the players when they're traveling to events. If you're needing a fantastic ride, just check out our link that I have provided with the podcast that is directly in the chat room. It's https It's the one with the hyperlink down there, guys. And you'll get a discount on your car rental. That's our way of saying thank you to the pool community for keeping up with us all these years, and our way of saying thank you. So we appreciate you guys following us and taking care of these kids. And Coye is just one of the many, many children out here that are going for it. They're putting their heart and soul into a game that they love so much. And we appreciate these kids letting us into their lives for just a few minutes to let us see what it's like to be them and how they feel in the pool community, because we're watching them play on the streams, but we're not hearing what they're saying. So that's why I started this, so we can hear what they have to say. Kids have voices and they need to be heard. Coy, do you have a favorite shot that you like to shoot? We're going to let Coy win one more rack of balls, and then we're going to let him and his parents have a wonderful rest of their Sunday. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Coy Burns representing the state of Mississippi. He is 16 years old. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you guys have a great rest of your afternoon. Coy, could you come back to the camera just a little bit so we can do our close? Not quite sure he can hear me, ladies and gentlemen. He's on a roll. He's bound and determined to make this shot. There's something about our kids when they have something that they believe in, which is in themselves, they can achieve anything, just like us adults. It takes one adult to have faith in a child, and it does all that practice just doesn't really conceive of. We have to make sure that our kids know that we're out here championing for them as well, and trying to make the world a little bit easier for them so that they can learn. So it's kids like Coye is the reason why I do this. So if you guys are out there and you would like to sponsor a junior, please contact myself, Autumn Grusella, or Nick DeLeon, or send us a message on Facebook and let us know that you have a junior player that plays really well, or you would like to sponsor one. These kids need help getting to some of these places. Like Coye said, the venues are so far away. And with 2 working parents and one of them in college right now, it's very difficult for a young child to make it to some of these events. So we need more events around the country. So if you would like to jump on the bandwagon and continue this movement with me, Mako Tips, and a slew of sponsors that I've had since I began this movement, contact me and we'll tell you how you can get on that Moscone Cup Kid for Kids movement, and that's what we're working towards. So thank you guys so much for watching us tonight and giving us that moment to come into your homes and show you what our kids have to offer. Coy's a phenomenal kid, and his parents are fantastic people. So on behalf of myself, Mr. Burns and his family, and Inside Pool Magazine, thank you guys so much for watching tonight. And like I said, if you see a kid out there and they're struggling with their game and you could give them 2 minutes of your time to improve their game and actually make an impact in their lives, take it. It's all about giving back. It's not always about taking. So on behalf of Inside Pool, this has been the Diva, and this has been Coye Burns, and we appreciate you guys for watching tonight. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you next time.